All right. Greetings, everyone. Here is today's network status update for Canyon Wood Crafting. I am Calvin Trammell and have been fortunate enough to be support for Craft. The Canyon Wood Craft is an IT consultant during this latest network growth and optimization of the initiatives. In this presentation, I will thoroughly explain how present network state and the strategies we have been employing to ensure that our corporate and branch sites are stable, scalable, and secure. Technologies adopted, security implemented, and management tools are geared towards further company growth. I will mention how the previous decisions in our projects have put the organization on the way to future success. The idea is to translate technical details into clear, understandable insight, demonstrating how the IT infrastructure supports operations in the business. All possible questions and discussions will be entertained at the end of the session. Let us begin by first considering how the leadership team has effectively supported and responded to the evolving needs of the networks for the company. I just want to say that the success of our network projects have depended mainly on the leadership of Canyon Woodcraft. It's invested early in IT infrastructure so that the network systems could grow when the company expanded into new areas. One thing that stands out in new leadership responsiveness and the emerging threats of willingness to take security upgrades at the moment notice. The culture of readiness made it possible to improve the network without the burdens of associated with unnecessary bureaucracy, significantly reducing the risk of exposure. The leaders they've also have built a collaborative environment across the departments where IT operations, environment, and management have all worked collaboratively during expansions and the reorganizations. Without such protocols and upgrading branch office network would have taken much longer. The executive commitment to modernizing technology and supporting the staff created a nurturing environment for the innovation. Today, the Canyon Woodcraft Network is stronger and more resilient and better able to adapt to the future. Okay, the corporate office laid down two essential technologies to for performance: the spanning tree protocol (STP) and the Ether channel. STP is used in enterprise networks with more than one switch. It also primary purpose is to prevent switching loops by blocking redundant paths, logically allowing the active path to remain the best. In the event of a primary leak failure, the STP will activate and back up path within seconds, maintaining network uptime without human intervention. In conjunction with the STP deployment, we deploy Ether channel, activating multiple physical Ether links between switches into a single logical link. This serves with the dual purpose of increasing available bandwidth while ensuring that if one link fails, the other continue to carry the traffic. The result of deploying the STP in the Ether channel in the corporate offices reliable and effective in layer 2 network capability of high traffic loads while remaining stable. Ether channels also aid in network management between switches and group links are handled as one of the logical links, thus simplifying the task. These enhancements were paramount to a position in the corporate office to address current and future demands. Okay, was the OSPF was writing protocols to interconnect the central location Phoenix, Austin, Denver. The OSPF is a dynamic routing protocol due to rapid convergence and effective routing updates. The design follows a hierarchy structure where in Phoenix servers as area 0, the backbone, and Austin, Denver are the areas 1 and 2. The segmentation lessens the route complexity by localizing updates within the specific areas. A failing example Along with further comparisons, OSPF propagates areas updates to specific areas without causing interruptions to the rest of the network. The OSPF add reliability between the location due to uh, promoting rerouting, promotes reroute and recovery from link failure. Overall, the reflection of the balance among the scalability, performance, and fault tolerance of the OSPF. That's at the same time, the route path was optimized based on the cost metric uh, available in OSPF, assigned priority to the high bandwidth, low latency links between the branch office and the corporate office. The configuration of the OSPF ensures that the critical business and traffic is effectively and safely moved between the sites. Okay, safety has been paramount throughout the entire network of the Canyon Woodcraft, and now we are furthering our multi-layer defense. First, we have access control list, ACL, installed throughout the network to restrict incoming and outgoing traffic. They specify which IP address and protocol should be allowed to reduce the risk of unauthorized or legitimate access or minimizing probable attacks surface. Furthermore, we activate the port security on all switches, limiting the number of devices that can be plugged into any switch port. The port will then either be automatically cut off or block the traffic of what's this unknown device when unauthorized device tries to plug into it again. Finally, the DHCP snooping was introduced. It denies rogue DHCP servers from sending potential harmful IP addresses. It helps maintain a good and up-to-date database of trusted devices in the network. Thus, those three, port security and the DH snooping, have made security touching and proactive guards to protect Canyon Woodcraft access, while the capability is given to authorized users to access the flexible network. Network address translation, or better known as NAT, plays an essential role in securing internal network and conserving the use of IP address. As a corporate office, we have installed both static and dynamic NAT. Static NAT is configured for servers that need access via the internet, such as web or email server. The static NATs use public fixed IP address mapping with internal private IP. Dynamic NAT, by contrast, enable internal users to access the internet through public addresses taken from the shared pool, not through one-on-one static mapping. At Flagstaff, the implementation was done with port address translations, a type of dynamic NAT. All internal access through one single external IP, which different devices use different ports. PAT thus preserves the invaluable public address and at the same time provides branches with personnel while access to the internet. The various NATs could hide the internal IP address. Effectively, these NATs have become a strong pillar within the modern network of agriculture, architecture, and the Canyon Woodcraft is within those total operations. Okay, it is effectively sure that the current trend towards less rigorous network platforms and simplified the management of IP addresses. We have deployed router-based DHCP services in our offices, uh, branch network of Austin, Denver, and Flagstaff. The branch router acts as a DHCP server, um, assigning dynamic IP addresses to internal devices from predefined scopes. This ensures that new devices, laptops, network printers can rapidly deploy without manual setup requirements. Centralizing management of the DHCP setting that the router level means that reduce the administrative complexity and more straightforward process to implementing change on the network. We have a documented static fallback plan that includes manual IP assignments in the event of router failure for redundancy. purposes. Bringing the DHCP down to the branch actualizes traffic on the local subnets for the performance improvement instead of sending DHCP's request over the WANG links to the corporate office. The design choices is coupled with self-sufficiency while keeping centralized visibility and control in each branch. The result was more aligned and resilient, agile and resilient IP management and systems that support present and future growth. However, remote management of network devices should be very secure, although functioning yet straightforward. Telnet cannot be recommended as it does not encrypt all data, including user and password, thus anybody can easily interpret them. We use Secure Shell SSH for remote access. SSH is encrypted all session messages there as providing confidentiality and integrity of the data, which while managing switches, routers, and firewalls from remote locations. As for monitoring performances, we have instituted a simple network management protocol enabling automatic acquisitions of metrics such as performance status and alerts. The SNMP version 3 is preferred since they use encrypted and authentication mechanisms and resolves security issues in earlier versions of the SNMP. SSH have SNMP v3 provided a secure system of remote administration and eavesdropping on sensitive configuration sessions. It helps detect issues before they actually affect the actual business operation. Okay, reflecting on the development on our end is evident from the past project implemented that is needed of the Canyon Woodcraft operation, where served very well. The introduction of the Hispanic tree protocol and the Ether channel has been tremendously increasing the reliability and bandwidth of the corporate office network. The OSLPF configuration allows us to scale branches connectivity as a fast convergence time. The several relations were put into practice where the risk exposure was significantly reduced. Security implementation include ACL port security, DHCP snoozing with the NAT to conceal internal IP addresses and localize DHCP services. We optimize IP addresses and management while guaranteeing high levels for everyone. The solution brought about technical achievements resulting in an internal network that is resilient and scalable and protects against threats and adamant of a firm base for the further growth, such as possible providing integration for cloud services and new branch offices. Therefore, the projects have improved uptime, performance, and security, placing IT infrastructure behind Canyon Woodcraft business goal. The performance and security and scalability that we have now enjoyed throughout the entire network of Canyon Woodcraft is the result of superior critical mass. This is evidenced by the OSPF routing that's connecting our corporate office through the branches, a loop-free and a redundant layer 2 infrastructure using STP and Ether channel and high security control across the entire network. I recommend continuous vulnerable assessments to remain ahead of the evolving cyber security threat and to maintain this status. Also, the constant training of the IT team on new technology and treating and threat prevention will equip them to the competence of necessary for operation. The IT team should also explore the cloud optimally for more strategic data backup and disaster recovery options. Finally, the proactive network monitoring using the SNMP will allow us to identify and solve problems before they impact users. Thank you again for your continued support and collaboration with your leadership and strategic focus. Canyon Woodcraft is well positioned for a secure and a prosperous future. Thank you.